Alright, let's look at the homework 2.8 problem number 4. Alright, so let's find the derivative using the definition. Alright, so here, we want to find the derivative g prime of t. So which is going to be limit as h approaches 0. Alright, then you have 7 over square root of t plus h minus g of t, so 7 over square root of t all over h. Right? So find the common denominator. So you have a limit as h approaches 0. Alright, so common denominator would be just the product of square root of t plus h times square root of t. Right? Then I'm going to actually pull 7 out. So here, 7 is in common. So pull those two 7s outside here so that we don't have to see it. So 7 is going to be out here. So it's going to be 1 minus 1 over square root of t. So 1 times square root of t is square root of t minus square root of t plus h. Right? Then all over h. Right? So in order to squeeze the factor h out of this expression, we're going to multiply top and bottom by square root of t plus square root of t plus h. You have square root of t plus square root of t plus h. Right? So if you multiply that out, you're going to get, 7 is still sitting here. And we'll take care of this limit later. Alright, so first thing is I'm going to take care of the denominator. Right? Dividing by h is same thing as multiplying the denominator by h, so I'll put h there. So you have a square root of t plus h, square root of t, right? So those guys, and multiply by square root of t plus square root of t plus h. Alright, and on top you have a minus b times a plus b, so t squared, square root of t squared would be just t, minus square root of t plus h squared would be just t plus h. Alright, then we can cancel t here, minus t. Alright, there's negative h, so we can cancel h down here and share h here, so that's going to be 1. Alright, then h is going to 0, so this guy disappears and this guy disappears. Right? Then what you get is 7 times negative 1, so it's negative 7 over square root of t times square root of t is t. Right? Then you have square root of t plus square root of t is 2 square root of t. Right? So we got that. Let's type it in. Right? It's negative 7 over 2t square root, right, click that, of t, right, and then the stated domain of the original function, you can see that we have to make sure that the t is non-negative and also not equal to 0, so it has to be positive. So t has to be positive here. Alright, and here it's actually exactly the same thing. So the domain of the derivative is exactly the same. Alright, so let's double check. Submit for testing. Alright, it came back and looks like we got all these guys correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.